I have my Deputy Statistician General, followed by the project coordinator of his worker project, and then our friend from the Gambia Revenue Authority, Mr. Henry Mendy. And welcome all of you to the Gambia Bureau of Statistics. In line with international recommendations, every 10 years, the Gambia conducts a population and housing census to provide information on the size, distribution, and characteristics of the country's population. The census data are used for policy making, planning, and administration, as well as in the management and evaluation of programs in education, labor force, housing, health, transportation, and rural development. The census is also an invaluable resource for businesses and industries. It provides them with the basic data they need to appraise the demand for housing, schools, furnishing, food, clothing, recreational facilities, medical supplies, and other goods and services. It is the unique statistical operation that provides detailed information on the population at the level of small areas and small population groups, essential for decision-making, planning, managing, and evaluating program activities at this regional level. The census provides also sample frame for implementation of household surveys for years to come. For the first time in our history, we are implementing a full digital population and housing census, where data will be collected using tablets, geographical information system, and information and communication technologies to improve quality of data and to reduce delay in making available the results of the census. However, implementing a digital census comes with numerous challenges relating to ICT, GIS, management of census personnel, and logistical issues. Despite all these challenges, the Gambia Bureau of Statistics is working tirelessly to implement quality census in line with best international standards. For instance, the Bureau was able to map the whole country within 6 months using digital GIS technologies. Coming to the enumeration phase. The enumeration phase of the population census encompasses two broad operations in sequence. The first operation is the listing of households and structures, and the second is the counting and collection of information on each individual that has passed the night in the country during the census night. To that end, GBoS has recruited 5,309 enumerators, 1,087 supervisors that will be visiting each part of the country and each household during the census enumeration period. Each of the 5,309 enumerators has been assigned one enumeration area that he or she will be responsible to cater within the assigned time of the enumeration exercise. These field workers are assisted by 34 regional and deputy regional census officers, 34 data monitors, 53 district ICT officers, 55 ICT officers, 45 mappers, and 99 support staff. GBoS plan to start the enumeration phase with the listing operation on Saturday, May 25, 2024. However, this was not possible for the following reasons. One, adjusting the census application system. The census application system was initially designed to decentralize the entire census process. Applicants were expected to apply and work in their respective communities. However, due to shortages of qualified personnel in some regions or districts, the census team was forced to reassign some field workers to other places to fill in the gap. This meant readjusting the census application program to factor in these new scenarios. Withdrawals. After the announcement of daily rates, many residents in the Greater Banjul area who choose to work in the rural districts withdrew from the training. After active teachers were also forced to withdraw as per directives from the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. And for obvious reasons, given schools are in session as opposed to previous censuses which were conducted in April when schools are on break, after attending several days of training in some regions. This has implications for the program loaded into the tablets as replacements need to be inputted into the virtual platforms created for the training. Delay in the payment of allowances. To fast-track payments, a digital form was created at the start of the main census training to capture the mobile money transfer details of all participants. However, getting this information from the various centers was a big challenge as regional census officers struggled to stabilize the centers. Many participants also fill in the form for different centers and multiple mobile money transfers in anticipation to receive multiple payments for the same activity. The account officers, in an attempt to validate the payment for the payment information of all participants, detected this unacceptable smart move by some of the participants. Furthermore, several people use the same payment numbers as opposed to their own mobile money account credentials, which, if processed without rectification, could lead to audit queries. The office also had to do a further cleaning of the data to remove duplicates resulting from multiple submissions. Without payment of allowances to participants, it was difficult to launch field operations. Tax on field work income. An official from the Gambia Revenue Authority is here with us, as earlier mentioned, and will explain the provision for payment of income tax as stipulated in the Income and Value Added Tax Act 2012. Mobile money charges. To ensure transparency, it is recommended that all payments are done through the banks or mobile money services. Some of these service providers charge fees for using their service, and the full information was provided to all to choose. In this regard, it is the participants themselves who choose the preferred mode of payment, either WAVE, NAFA, UNA, or APS. GBoS did not register the participants with the mobile money service. It is not GBoS that's imposing the fees, but as service provided, we expect to pay for it. $700 allocation for meals and $300 for transport reform. There are a lot of misconceptions regarding the claim that participants were supposed to receive $1,000 as daily allowances for attending the training. It was alleged that GBoS allocated $700 per trainee to cater for lunch and breakfast, while $300 was given as allowance. It is important to note that no such amount was allocated as allowances to participants. The $300 provided is not compensation for time spent attending the training. Rather, it's given to them as transport refund. The $300 transport refund is based on joint country and UN policies. GBoS invited participants to a training. It is the responsibility of GBoS to provide meals of sufficient quality and quantity for the duration of the training. We did receive reports that some caterers were underperforming and took actions to address their concerns. The regional census officers were tasked to evaluate the quality and quantity of food provided at the various centers and then report to the office. Some did at the start of the training and the office took immediate action. However, some participants prefer to report the matter directly to the media instead of getting to the GBoS authorities. Despite these challenges, we are pleased to announce that all the centers have launched field operations in various districts, starting with the listing of compounds, buildings, and structures across the country, to be followed by the counting of all persons living in the country on census night, which is fixed for May 31st, 2024. In this regard, let me use this opportunity to inform all in the Gambia that the 2024 Population and Housing Census fieldwork has started, and we will need the cooperation of everyone to furnish the field workers or field officers the right information that can aid planning and provision of services. Quality of our census starts first with cooperation, acceptance, and truthfulness of information provided by all of us. As indicated before, the exercise entails listing of compounds and enumeration of the population. Fieldwork is expected to end on the 14th of June, 2024. The success of the census requires the support of everyone. We therefore count on everyone to get everyone counted. Thank you very much.
Taxes. We've done a lot of sensitization, even with the journalists. And we've traveled the whole country to sensitize concerning taxation. Now, my own task here is simple. Is it legal for the enumerators to pay tax? Yes. Is it legal for GBoS to deduct it? Yes. Where is it based? The Income and Value Added Tax 2012, Section 89 spells it out. It's very clear that any person involved in any economic or income generating activity and you've earned more than $2,000, $2,000 you're supposed to pay tax. Now, the same section gave the power to the contracting institution to withhold, meaning to deduct. Just like myself, before my salary is paid, something is deducted from my salary and paid to domestic taxes, which is then forwarded to central bank. If somebody also is contracted for a service, the law says if you are resident in the Gambia, the company is resident, or the service provider is resident here, 10% must be deducted by the one giving the contract, and that amount should be remitted to Gambia Revenue Authority. If the service provider is based outside, but is coming for work in the Gambia, and after the work, the person or the company will go back, then 15% must be withheld and paid to GRA. So that's why I said, is it legal for GBoS to cut it? I said yes, it is legal. If they don't, the law also empowered GRA to force GBoS to pay that amount from their own money. So the thing is simple and clear. If you earn more than $2,000, you should pay tax. And if we look at the enumerators and the supervisors and whoever is involved, what they are being paid, whether it's for 1 week or for two weeks or for 1 month, is more than $2,000. So GBoS is obliged to deduct the 10% and then pay to GRA. That's my task here, and I think I'm done here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well said.
First, with the issue of challenges, I think what I've enumerated here are our main challenges. I'm not aware of any technical issue in terms of the system. Of course, initially, this was experienced during the recruitment process, but not at this level. I believe what we have mentioned here were the challenges. And of course, like I said, some of the people resident within the greater Banjul area who choose to go up country were expecting that we are going to take care of their accommodation and living expenses. You know, when they realize that if they should stay there, pay rent, take care of themselves, they wouldn't be left with much. For them, it was not worth it. This is why they decided to come back and look for chances around here. That disturbed us a lot, actually, because some of them also thought that maybe it will be very competitive around this and getting an opportunity. So, they decided to go up country where they think you have less educated guys around and the opportunities can be greater there. But after knowing how much they were supposed to earn, and the cost aspect of it, they decided to come back. As we also mentioned, the teachers, of course, as we know, the schools are on. The Ministry of Education, we had a meeting with them, very, fruitful meeting. At the end, it was decided that the teachers will withdraw. But some of them still insisted. They thought they can manage to be part of the exercise. And then the monitors, cluster monitors, went into some of the regions. They went into the rooms and removed some of these people out of our training. This affected us. As I said this morning during my program at QTV, this has challenged. The digital census is completely different from our traditional census. It would have been a very easy thing when you remove to replace. But the digital census is completely different. It is a system that starts from the recruitment stage. So anything that we do have to go back to that stage. So there are a lot of issues. Like I said, this is the first time we are conducting a digital census. So it means we are conducting, but at the same time learning through the process. So if we are to do another census, it will be quite different. And the system also requires a lot of time. We delayed in the starting of the training because we needed some time between the end of the training and the deployment of field workers. But because we had delay at the beginning, this has affected our timely starting of the census. That is another reason. Yeah, but frankly, apart from this, I'm not aware of any other challenge. No, in fact, they are performing. Those who no, that can maybe happening around the Fula communities, but so far I've not had anything. Well, it's expected, but we're also doing a lot to sensitize the public about the importance of it, and also, that the public should not expect anything coming based on this information that we are collecting in terms of, giving you rights and so on. But it is mainly for the purposes I mentioned here on my statement. 10,000 that you mentioned, that was meant for the recruitment for the training, actually, not actually for the field work. For the field work, we require less than that. We do this simply because we know you have a lot of unscrupulous persons. People would get through by using other people's documents, and they don't have the capacity to really do the job. This is why we normally recruit more than the required number, so that during the process, we are able to identify these people and lay them off. And this is the purpose. But we will need about over 6,700 personnel for the exercise, as I mentioned, in the different capacities. With regards to those who were withdrawn, we've already replaced them. This happened during the training, so they've been replaced. So that's why we said it took some time before certain region or centers, stabilized actually. This is one of the reasons. The other question was the ended. No, we always make sure that we give ample time. This is not the first time we've conducted census. I think if you read the history of population housing census in the Gambia, you know that it started as far back as 1881. And we know how many days is required, but we also expect that we may have some obstacles around the land. So we give more time so that in case things like this happen, we'll be able to complete within the stipulated time. So we are confident that we will be able to do within the stipulated time. But what is more important here is the duration. The contract between us and the field workers is 21 days. So if it is not possible for us to complete on the 14th, that means we have to come back after the Eid of the country. But the good news is that we've learned that some people who started day before yesterday has completed their listing exercise. So which means that they are set for the population of housing. Sorry, for the population count. Yeah. Thank you very much. That's a very, very good question. I think, and I believe that this census will be the most, in terms of quality, the most quality census because of a number of reasons. Let me start from the recruitment process. I think this time around, the recruitment process is more transparent than ever. Now we have a platform where we ask everybody to apply to, and the process. And this does not involve one person. It was a team. We all start. And you call it again, set a program, a set criteria that was used to determine who is qualified for the census. This was inputted in the machine, and the results were produced. For me, it's the most transparent. There was no interference. Unless if people, like I said earlier, use other people's documents, we did as much as possible also to scrutinize that as well. And like I said, the other level of it is the training itself, where we had the opportunity to lay off those who are not competent. And I think we are all Gambians. We know in terms of education. Today, you can't compare today and the last 10 years back in terms of the number of qualified personnel in this country. I think this all will add to the quality. Apart from that, we are using a digitalized system. These systems is somehow controlled to minimize errors. So I believe we're going to get the best data compared to the previous censuses. Of course, people may have their own doubts, but it depends on those people themselves whether they are giving us the right information, because we only take what is given to us. And we trust that people are responsible enough to give us the right information. And this is why in my statement, I did mention that the quality of this data depends on the truthfulness of the information that is being provided to us. So I'm appealing to the general public to give us the right information. Otherwise, it's garbage in, garbage out. If you give us wrong information, this is what we'll take, and this is what we'll pass on to government and development partners, the policy and other things. That's a good question. First, let me rectify. Census night is only one day. It does not start on this day and ends on this day. It remains on the 1st of June. And if maybe you've not gone around the centers, we are working with security personnel, but we are also discussing this issue. If we think we need more security personnel, we will request for them to be deployed. But like I said, of course, you can't compare 10 years ago and today. There might be more security threats today compared to the past 10 years. But then we've been doing these activities. We have not experienced any challenges, any security issues. Of course, we're all following what is happening in the country in terms of what is happening in other parts of our communities. We are not going to take things for granted. But the good news is also this: we have ensured any person and everyone who is participating in this field. And we have also informed our people that if they suspect anything that they think is a security threat, let them report. We will ensure that they are accompanied by more people. Yeah. Okay. Point of correction. I don't agree with you when you say very little money. No, listen to me. When you calculate, in fact, 1,200 per day for 21 days, it's about 25,200. How many Gambians are in the month? More than 20,000. No, listen. No, when it's a small money. No, but no, it does not. But for how many days are we engaging? No. For how many days are we engaging in? We are not supposed to take care of your entire year or whole year thing. We are engaging you for 21 days. For us, it's not. We are not paying a pittance or what we may call it. I think we are generous enough to give what we have given. Frankly speaking, we wanted to motivate or incentivize, so I call it, more than what we have provided. But the census involves a lot of people. So if you want to pay the normal survey rate something different, I will allow my colleague from PC, he wants to say something, I don't want to preempt to mention this with regards to what has happened. In fact, with regards to how we arrived at the 1,000 people. Initially, it was not 1,200. I think definitely we have no excuse to delay any payment because we'll be working with these people. We know all those who are involved. It's just a matter of time and we pay. If the job is done, we'll pay. We definitely accept to do that.
You are maintaining with these service providers.
Yes, yeah.
And you sorted out the issue.
No, the issue is not service providers. The issue is the final list being sent to the Bureau from the regional census office because of that, removal and replacement of staff. And also those involved themselves, like I mentioned, some of them they gave different numbers, different names.
And there is a total of people.
Yeah, like most fullers did that. So we have to take care. But now we know who is involved to be able to take care of, everything before the date, and we will pay appropriately without delay. Thank you, Mohammed.
Just like to make a small clarification on the amount of the payment. Initially, a year back, what we agreed between the PIU and GBoS was $1,000 per numerator. Supervisor 1,200. But when we do the math, we see that 10% out of that will take a great chunk of their money. If you look at our first pump that was sent to the World Bank, you'll find that it was $1,000 per day for numerator, supervisor $1,000, 1,200. Then I have a discussion with SG. Then we agreed that at least to offset the tax issue, let's increase it to 1,200. For supervisor, we increase it to 1,400. So that after the tax, in fact, the numerators are earning extra $80 instead of $1,000. I think this is something that need to be that the public need to be notified to know that at least GBoS in their capacity did everything to make sure that the numerators are motivated. There are only few institutions in this country that are paying at least 1,500, 1,200, 1,300 per day for data collection. We have been in the business for so long that at least we know all the rates that are available in the country. We know we can't pay people how they want it, but at least we want to motivate people well enough so that they will do the job right. I think that is clear. So it's important that the public at least notify that, and this is for country also, that no matter how small it is, but we are trying to secure our futures too. Our own future and the future of our kids and our grandkids. So it's also very important the public also have that in mind. At the end of the day, it's all about money. Thank you.